In the last section, we learned all about a single band compressor and how to set all of the controls to make your mix sound punchier. But a single band compressor is not the best compressor to use for mastering, and the reason why is because mastering is going to have the entire mix involved, and it will have all of the frequency ranges represented, from the mid-range to the bass frequencies to the treble frequencies, and any one of those frequency ranges can trigger the threshold of a single band compressor, which means that it will start to pull volume away from all of the other frequency ranges at the same time. It would be better if you could split those frequencies up and compress each frequency band separately. And that's exactly what a multiband compressor does. Let's take a look at what a multiband compressor has that a single band compressor does not. I'm going to go to Dynamics, and I'm going to call up the multiband compressor. Now you'll notice that the multiband compressor has 4 of those little graphs that we've been talking about on the single band compressor, and in fact it has many of the same controls, things like threshold, ratio, attack, release with an auto switch for the release. But each of these compressors works in a separate frequency range, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but I am going to bypass that multiband compressor right now and show you what I mean about a single band compressor's inability to handle full range music for mastering. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get our master project playing again, and I'm going to call up that Fat Dance Master preset. Now that's overly compressed, but what you should be noticing is that the bass frequencies, like the bass drum and the bass guitar, are triggering most of the compressor. That gain reduction control is really happening mostly on the bass frequencies. But whenever the threshold gets exceeded by the bass frequencies, it starts to pull away volume from the other frequencies, so you start to hear the compression. Let's take a listen to before and after. I'm going to bypass. And now I'll re-enable. Bypass again, and enable again. So the compressor is doing its job, however, it's not able to compress smoothly across all of the different frequency bands. And when that happens, you start to hear something called pumping and breathing, and that's where you start to hear the compression. And really, a compressor sounds best when you don't notice that it's on at all. And so we use a multiband compressor to split those frequency ranges up into 4 discrete separate groups so that they can each be compressed independently. Many of the controls on a multiband compressor are identical to a single band compressor, so we don't really need to go over those again, but let me talk to you about some of the new controls that a multiband compressor has.